Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend, and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to our continuation of Symbaroum. My name's Nate. I will be your GM for this journey, and let's go ahead and meet my two lovely players for the day. Let's go ahead and start off with the man, the myth, the legend, who has been missing for quite some time, but is back with us today, Leroy.
That's my R2D2 noises. Hello, everybody. I am back. I'm finally back. Yes, royalty know why. My name is Lee Royal, and happy to be playing on Symbaroum with the initiative order and seeing what shenanigans that's going to be happening because Nrobso's been asleep. He's hit a summer solstice, and he's just goblin hibernation has taken a hold. So here we are.
Finally waking up. And let's go ahead and throw it over to Kelsey, please.
Hey guys, I am returning as Kinlegelana yet again. I'm excited to play today and hope you guys enjoy the show.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today. And with that, let's go ahead and dive back into the world of Symbaroum. And welcome in, everybody. So before we jump into tonight's session, let's go ahead and just catch our resident goblin lumberjack up on the ongoings of what happened last time. Keen, you and Aggie had taken some time doing some more investigations yourself, trying to understand the corruption that has begun to make itself known here in Thistlehold, with the sinkhole emerging, the arrival of witches from Carvasti. You've got Templars who have now come in. You've learned of one of the Black Cloaks who recently, who had passed away, but somebody has taken on his identity. You and Aggie in the last session had spent some time at the Queen's Legation digging into some of the history, some of the records of Thistlehold, learning that there was recently an argument that was at the saloons of Symbaroum taking place between Arkle and the individual you've come to know as Anadia, who is the individual who seems to have some kind of deep ties to whatever's been going on in Thistlehold. However, you had found her body down in the sinkhole and are now kind of trying to dig up clues to her past, what might link her to everything that's been going on. So you currently have the witness statement saying this argument took place between Anadia and Arkle, with one of them yelling, "Death to First Father Jessabigai." Nobody really knows which individual said that, but they just know that was shouted during this argument. You learn that the individual who is arguing with the Nadia Arkle is located in a village just east of Thistlehold, about a day's journey or so. But where I will go ahead and begin today's journey is Keen, you and Aggie have returned to the Rose Garden Inn where you are staying at. You had recently poisoned yourself in a way to witness a vision of your past. Almost opening more questions than answers in your mind, but beginning to get an understanding of who you are as a changeling. But you're currently in your room. You've got little Nrobso, who is currently just tucked away in his pile of rags. And as you're kind of sitting here finishing up your healing potion, you do see that Nrobso has begun to finally stir and awaken. So as we enter into your room, the actions are yours.
Pancakes, crepes. Oh,
Did you have a good sleep?
Nrobso dreamed of far-off lands and being across an entire body of water. Perhaps Nrobso was gone for too long in his dream state, for he felt he was in a different place altogether.
Well, Nrobso, dreams too are a gift. Perhaps it was a prophecy of times to come.
Or perhaps it's more of a what the heart truly desires.
Perhaps. But before the heart gets what it truly desires, would you like to take care of any business today or tomorrow, perhaps?
Oh, are you speaking of Nrobso's assassination group?
Assassination group?
Why, yes, before Nrobso went into his slumber, Nrobso and Kranko formed an alliance, and we have an assassination, a brotherhood you might even call it, where we are hunting down the Templars for their evil deeds.
Oh, so it's more than just mail now. It makes a lot of sense. Yes.
The mail is the cover, but deep down underneath,
So,
we are...
when the mail gets delivered, do
Yeah.
you just start stabbing? Is that the package?
Oh, that's extra. It only depends if the client is paying extra. Is this the business into which you are referring to?
Well, as tempting as that very illegal act may be, and perhaps, you never know, we have a lot of different options right now. There's a lot of things going on. While you were sleeping, I can't say that we found Sarvola, which I know you're already probably very aware that we were supposed to do that.
Yes, you burned down a village, I remember.
Yes. Well, Aggie burned down a village. But anyway, we have a couple of leads there. We still haven't found Sarvola. We did talk to the war hero Kargoy. Very unpleasant. Very unpleasant.
Did you mention that
Very
Nrobso is also a hero of sorts?
Would you like to mention to him that Nrobso is a hero of sorts?
No, if it's already passed, I will wait for another time. Please continue. Okay, so we still not have found Servalo.
Yes, but
You talked to a
unfortunately...
war hero.
Yes.
Okay, two things, okay.
Yes. So essentially, we were told by the head of the Sun Temple that the old war heroes have a lot of political sway with various groups of people in the city because of their station as war heroes. There's a lot of extreme people, and you'll remember them. They were carrying a bunch of fire. They looked really angry. They were going to burn down Sarvola's hut. You remember them?
No. Nrobso was riding on the horse that the Lady of the Sun Temple gave.
Indeed. And we were told that the best course of action potentially is to get the war heroes on our side and to find a way to get them to get other people to back off, because unfortunately Sarvola absolutely does not want to be found, and Sarvola is doing a great job of not being found. But in speaking to the war heroes, particularly Kargoy, things have not been going well. I did give quite an impassioned plea, but Kargoy seems to have a lot of issues.
That is very ominous. I don't know what that means by the long pause that you're giving when you say issues.
Well, not only is Kargoy a self-righteous, asinine character, however, it does get worse. There's corruption that's killed the plants around his home.
Oh no.
He's acting very cagey. He doesn't seem like he wants to entertain guests. He doesn't seem very pleasant. And as we already know, the corruption is one thing, but whatever the effects of the corruption have already wrought are a totally different problem. And we really do need to handle that at some point.
And this will help us find Servalo?
Well, I'm not saying we do this.
Oh.
It's an option, but I'm not saying we do this. So, Nrobso, I know that you're a bit of a very sneaky, very well... You're good at maintaining the whole stealth aspect of your physique. And he is corrupted. He's not being cooperative, and he has a lot of power, especially in a situation we have a lot of stake in. So what if we were to enter his home and find some kind of evidence of this corruption, something that would be very, very bad for the public to know, and maybe get him to finally listen to us a little bit more?
Leggy's once told Nrobso not to touch things that don't belong to him. Leggy says if it has corruption, stay far away from it.
That is very true. We would need gloves, yes. Maybe we can go and find some kind of concoction of herbs to wipe down any of our bags, any of our possessions after. And maybe this isn't the best course of action to take at all, but I see no other option to get him to tell people to leave Sarvola alone.
Nrobso is a fan of doing things by force.
Maybe just one time we could consider that use of force in getting into the home. Now remember, Nrobso, as I've always said, even when we strike a match and light a candle, we're still creating shadows and darkness.
And fire.
That too, yes.
Right.
So I'm not saying we necessarily do that. The other option is that I do have a key that we found in Anadia. You remember Anadia. You don't remember Anadia alive, but you remember Anadia's body, right?
She gave us money.
Oh, that's right. She was alive at one point. I've met so many people with so many names, but
Nrobso remembers money specifically.
Yes. So Anadia, there was a key in a trunk in her room, and we could also try and figure out what it goes to. We could potentially go back to the records house, the Queen's legation, to maybe figure out where it goes to. That's another option. If you don't want to break into this person's home. I mean, are there friendly ways to break into someone's home?
No.
Are there friendly? No.
Unless you want the delivery service, but even then, we cannot go in unless we are invited. Question, Nrobso has had a moment of clarity. Anadia has a key that goes somewhere special.
Yes.
Isn't Anadia in links with the Templar guy?
Well, which Templar guy?
There were 3 of them. They were brothers. One was an ass. The other one, he was very cooperative. Him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did Leggies talk to this one?
I actually have no idea where he is at the moment.
Nrobso doesn't like multiple options. I say we go after this Kargoyle guy.
Yes. Perhaps it is best. Now, of course, we want to limit the amount of times we do things like this, and if he wasn't corrupted and potentially not about to become something entirely inhumane, maybe we would consider not doing it. So I'm just putting this out there so that we know this is definitely an exception. We don't want to make this into a habit, right? And we want to stay away from corruption normally at all costs.
Yeah. Question.
Mm-hmm.
The last guy Nrobso ran into, he died. He turned into a plant and he died. We did not save this guy.
Yes.
Would Nrobso be reprimanded if the same thing were to happen to Cargyle?
Well, we do need Cargoy alive, because Cargoy is supposed to talk to very important people for us.
Well, if Cargyle is bad, why can't we see if we can convince him? And if not, if my axe should not stay in its sheath, and he happens to land on it, you could do the face-changey thing, and you could be the Cargyle.
That is a very interesting idea, and it's ingenious, Nrobso, but I do need to remind you that when I change into someone, I don't copy their thoughts, so I might not know the right people to talk to. I might not know.
Then we will search for all evidence first. And should this be the last resort, we will call this plan Zeta.
Yes, and I also want to just do a little bit of a note here that there's a lot of very evangelical, very dangerous people in Thistlehold, and killing a war hero will light far more fire than just a match to light a candle.
Only if his body is found. There are ways. Kovaan perhaps could transform him into a plant, and you could be the new war hero who takes a vow of silence and never speaks.
Nrobso, I don't know what happened while you were dreaming, but you've become very clever all of a sudden. In these faraway lands.
Pent up ideas.
I see. Very ingenious, very clever. Clever, Nrobso. But let's try and keep him alive first.
Okay.
And just find information. Let's not call it blackmail. Let's just say that we want to protect his image.
Oh.
And make sure that any kind of sensitive information about him doesn't get out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So more of a social marketing ploy.
Yes. Yes, we're going to help him get the right branding.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And not have the wrong branding.
Nrobso will add this to the list of potential, disguises for his new assassination brotherhood when he's taking out the Templars.
Yes, or you could also do something totally different and less morally and legally gray. Or you could do it.
The Templars must be stopped, Leggies. The corruption has no boundaries.
I do believe that is true. Would you like to go, Nrobso? Is there anything you need in town?
Nope. Nrobso. Whoa. Let me just stop by the bar and I'll get some crepes. I've been really craving those lately. Some crepes, maybe some tea, maybe some black Earl Grey tea.
Ooh, ask them to put lavender in it. I've heard it's divine. Also, and like I'm jingling in like a pouch. And loose leaf, yes. Hot. The good stuff. And I put some coins in your hand. Also, we found some money in Anadia's room.
Nrobso has no need of this. Nrobso is, as you say, rolling in the fields of the riches.
You don't want money.
Well, Nrobso has over 200 Ortegs.
Oh, very well.
Very lucrative business, the mailing system.
Well, please do go and get some Earl Grey lavender tea. Have some for me as well. I'll come down and join you.
Would you like any scones or biscuits?
I believe I would like a scone. Maybe a lavender scone?
What a choice.
Very
okay. So, Nrobso heading downstairs to go and retrieve some lavender scones. Keen, are you going with him?
I will.
Okay. All right, the two of you exiting out of your room, walking down the hallway, walking past Kovaan and Aggie's rooms, making your way down the stairs to that normal little kind of entryway area where you see a small table situated off in the corner. The only person down in this area at this time is a young Ambrian individual who's standing behind the kind of reception counter. Just kind of glances up when the two of you step down and, oh, hello. It's good to see you back up, Mr. Nrobso, was it?
Thank you for following with the mister.
You were up there for quite some time. I was getting worried. We were about to go do a wellness check on you.
How long was Nrobso out?
A couple days.
Oh, we missed my birthday.
What? Oh, we have to make up for that. What kind of birthday treats do you have?
Well, here we've got stew, and we've got bread.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got mead and wine. If you want, as you say, birthday treats, there's a bakery down the road.
No, that's. I will take your finest bread.
Finest bread, okay? I can certainly have that brought out to you. Now, would you like it brought up to your room, or will you be enjoying it?
No.
Oh,
I
over
will
a
take
little-
it right here. I want the full loaf. Condense it, slice it, put a candle in it.
Give me a persuasion roll if you would, Nrobso.
Oh, motherfucker.
All right. Let me just do that over there. No.
I will. I'm happy to get you a full loaf. That will cost extra. I'm afraid I don't think we have any candles available.
Hold on. And I dig in my ear. And I pull out like this wad of wax.
Use this.
Use this.
Oh, leggies, I did not know you had candles on hand. And just throw it away.
All right.
Yes,
so you
you'll
want
find I do like them.
an entire loaf of bread with that candle stuck in it.
Yes.
Yes. Also, do you have tea here? Do you have specifically Earl Grey lavender tea?
I'm afraid not. We've got wine and mead and water.
And stew.
Okay.
I remember the
And
conversation
stew
of stew.
and bread, yes.
Then we'll need hot water. I do have some on hand. I have some tea on hand.
And why did I come down here ordering tea when you had tea the entire? Just mumbling to
I didn't
myself,
have
you
hot
had
water
tea
upstairs.
the entire
Okay,
time.
so you want just so I'm clear, you want a loaf of bread with a candle in the middle and a cup of
Yeah.
hot water.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want any meat or anything, Nrobso?
No, this is what I've been craving for the times I've been asleep in my slumber.
Okay. We'll call it 3 shillings for everything in total, and be right back with your water and bread loaf. Man, and she kind of hold her hand out for the candle.
Here you go.
Thank you. She kind of disappears back behind a couple double doors. A few moments go by. She walks out with, sure enough, this loaf of bread. As you can see, where she kind of stuck the candle in it, the crust is kind of flaking off in bits and areas, almost like it looks like it's a bit stale at this point. Candle lit, and she just kind of offers this loaf over to you, Nrobso. And for Keen, she's got just a basic goblet filled with hot water.
So I'm gonna start like straining in some of the tea, and I'm just gonna be quietly like, "Blessed birthday to you, Nrobso." be true. And like just like kind of humming along to like a tune like that.
We do not sing in the goblin culture. That it sounds more like a curse. Are you cursing, Nrobso?
Nrobso, I'm saying, blessed be.
Which sounds like a curse to Nrobso. Anything
What
you
would
wish,
you rather
whether
I do?
whether it be good or bad, it's still a curse.
What would you rather I do?
We sit in silence as we stare awkwardly into each other's eyes. It's the goblin way. It is the highest form of respect.
And he just starts like clawing the bread and just
And Keen, as he's shoving this bread in his mouth, it's audibly extremely crunchy. Like it sounds like he's just chewing on a rock.
I'll just pour him some tea silently.
Okay. Now, for today's adventure. Yes?
I suppose. Are we allowed to speak now?
Yes, now that the bread has been devoured and the tea has been had.
Very well then. Let us be off.
Okay.
We know where we're going, right?
I'm gonna like start leading him outside before I answer that. Yes. I can show you the way.
Would you like to take the war horse that I have?
Do you plan to lose the warhorse?
Oh, I just figured it'd be easier to ride there than to walk.
So, Nrobso, I do think he has hellhounds outside. I don't know where we would park the horse.
Fine, Nrobso shall walk with leggies.
Very well. Do you think I should dress up as a different war hero?
Oh, you have multiples?
I've met 3. Well, seen 3, and that's enough. That's all it takes.
Then yes, assume the role of the one that is the strongest.
I think that's Cargoy, though.
Assume the role of the one who is his rival.
Very well. Should we wait for him to leave his house?
No, maybe with him seeing his rival, a different interaction can be had.
Interesting. Very well.
And then perhaps, if it doesn't work out, we will hide amongst the bushes, wait for him to leave. Do we have to defeat the Hellhounds?
I wouldn't be surprised. He wears some kind of whistle. He has some kind of implement to call for them. They won't do anything unless he uses it, I think, or if we directly disturb them. They're in the back of the house.
Good information for Nrobso to know.
Okay.
Very well.
Exiting out into the streets and making your way directly over towards Summer Street and the home of Cargoy. So as you approach, you're met with that very familiar kind of iron fencing around his front yard with the gate, which is currently shut at this point, and you see the pathway leading up to this front door of this 2-story wooden structure. The home itself looks significantly more well built compared to the ones around it. You can tell that a bit more care and resources were put into building this individual's home. However, as you approach, looking at the yard, you see, for the most part, it's very green, but you very, very much can tell there are bits of just dried up and decaying plants that are kind of just scattered throughout the area, not really stemming from just one centralized location. They're kind of just sprinkled throughout this individual's yard. But the gate is currently shut. The two of you, easy enough, can make your way up to that area. A few Ambrians kind of walking by, paying no attention to you. Most of the people of Thistlehold have gotten used to seeing your presence in this area as you've been around for, a week or so at this point. You've got the gate before you, the home. Actions are yours. What would you like to do?
Leggies, remember, only say you want to tell me what you've done, or you can say, do you know what's going on? Just repeat that over and over again. Eventually, the pressure will make him buckle.
I see. And when I have a safe place to do so, I'm going to change into one of the other war heroes that I've seen.
Okay, for sure. There's definitely a couple trees that are tall enough for you to kind of duck down behind. Which veteran are you going to be transforming into?
So it's between, I believe I've only seen Serex and Roya otherwise.
Correct.
Which one looks, which one's less tall?
Roya would
which
be
one looks more portable through tight spaces?
I mean, both of these individuals are fairly well built, even though they are Ambrian and considered to be more on the elderly side. Their physique it's still fairly large, especially on these two, as from what Aggie and Kovaan had told you, spend a lot of their nights out drinking. And so these two definitely have some nice beer bellies going on. Neither of them looking particularly petite. Roya, from the description, you would know to be the woman who is covered head to toe in scarring, who is also the more loud and obnoxious one of the two. Serex being an Ambrian man, still a bit obnoxious, but not quite as much as Roya.
Understood. Nrobso, I think I will change once we've actually gotten into the house. I want to make sure I can fit. And then I believe that I will take the form of Serex.
Oh.
Okay.
We're going in.
Yes. We're going in.
Won't he know if we're at the door?
Okay. And I will change into Serex.
Okay, and what does it look like as you are transforming into Serex?
So it almost looks like one crow hobbles up, and then it looks like maybe a couple of other crows are like hopping up from different sides, and then like they flutter around me, but when they leave, when that area leaves, I look like someone else.
Excellent. And Nrobso, what you see before you now is an elder Ambrian man. His hair kind of this salt and pepper gray hanging down to his shoulders, very, very much unkempt. This overgrowing beard that's just kind of puffing out from his face. His skin definitely has these super deep wrinkles embedded into it. His eyes are a little bit bloodshot. Wearing just some basic robes. These robes, a bit nicer compared to what you've seen the rest of the individuals of Thistlehold wearing. But they are very similar to the colors of the war coats that you had found, with that kind of that red and yellow, with the same symbol of the sinking sun embroidered into it. But that is who you see emerge from behind the trees before you as all these birds kind of go fluttering away. And Keen is no longer there.
Now, Nrobso, are you going to try and sneak in while I lure him out?
Oh. If that is what is required.
How do you want to do this? You can either try and sneak in. If you want, I can draw him out and then I can have him invite me in at some point. Try and buy you time to find something. If you want, we can try.
The last time Nrobso snuck in, Leggies didn't like that I came out with food.
To be fair, you stole an Ambrian man's dinner.
Well, to be fair, you thought he was super guilty of something.
And to be incredibly fair, I did stand corrected, and that man probably had a very hungry night.
And to be the fairest of all, he still had food.
Did he?
I only took half.
Well, I suppose that's better than him starving. Okay, well, I suppose that is the fairest of all. And we need to make a concrete plan for what we want to do for getting inside. How would you like to handle this?
Well, Nrobso's not super discreet. I know I come off as someone who looks like he could be very discreet, but I want to let you know right now, I am only very strong and quick. So unless something requires me to bash, it might not go well discreetly, just so you know.
I see. Well, all we need is the right information. So, would you like me to try and distract him and you go in, or would you like to try and break in together?
Oh, yes, no, distract him, because perhaps now that you're this Serix guy, you may get more information by just looking at him and going, "You care to explain?" Just over and over again until he crumbles.
Very well, very well. Let's go. Are there any other entrances into this house? Like, if I get him out the doorway, do we see anything that obviously Nrobso can get through?
The only things that you can see from the front of the home are windows. You've got 5 on the ground floor and 5 up on the second story that are like very much lined up with one another. Aside from that, you see a couple windows on the side. Not sure what's around back.
Nrobso shall
are
take
hellhounds out
the
back.
side approach.
Very well. There are hellhounds in the back, so be careful.
I don't know what that means.
That means very bad things.
I will fight those hellhounds.
Please don't. Please do not provoke. Please just get inside.
I'm for this plan.
Now, what do you think, before I set you loose, what do you think are the best rooms to possibly check if they exist in this house?
The
Save time.
bathroom.
No.
The bathroom is the most fortress of solitude place where every man and woman can have their secretive thoughts.
Yes, and it's the most likely place where their guests might have to go when they visit.
The bathroom is where you feel the most vulnerable, therefore all of your thoughts is more established there.
Yes, but what are rooms that people often don't have guests as through traffic?
The dungeon.
Yes, which would be a basement, I think, in this case. A basement, yes. Basement's a good idea. Especially since I don't think he'll go looking for you down there. That's a good one. Also a bedroom, perhaps. Not a guest bedroom. You know what? Yes, look for a dungeon. Look for a dungeon.
I don't
think there will be one, but there will probably be a basement.
Well, first, step 1. You have to distract him for at least enough time for Nrobso to venture out through all the rooms.
Yes, of course.
Step 2. None of this can happen until Nrobso is inside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do my best. If only Kovaan was here with his vines and helped me get up higher.
That is tricky. I don't know that I really have any spells that would.
Save your spells. I will use the first floor.
Wait. You know what, Nrobso? Clever Nrobso. Went to sleep and woke up a much more intelligent goblin indeed. What if I did go to the door as Serix, but what if I used a spell to create a different kind of outdoor distraction? And I went to warn I went to warn our war hero Cardboy about it.
Is this similar to the plan of setting something on fire? I mean, as long as we're not burning down another village.
Can you describe the area to me to figure out if this is a good idea or not?
I mean, what specifically are you looking for here? You want to start a small fire in this guy's yard? Is what I'm picking up.
Yes.
Are you looking to make sure it doesn't spread? Are you looking?
Yeah.
What are you? Okay.
Yes, very much so.
So, if you're looking at his home, the right-hand side, it looks like the yard kind of wraps around to the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately butted up on the left side of his home, though, is another building.
Okay. But one side is free?
One side appears to just be kind of a wraparound yard, and it looks like his home is situated at the end of the street. So basically, it's right on the street corner. Beyond that yard, it's just more walking pathways.
Is there a tree?
You do see a couple trees on the side of the house.
Is there one that's not so close to the house that it'll set it off immediately, but if he doesn't take care of it, that it's going to set it on fire?
I mean, from what you can tell, if the fire were to climb up the tree, some of the branches are touching the home. So take that for what you will.
I see. My. So I'm going to look around and try to identify the safest thing to set on fire. Should I make a check for that?
Give me a vigilance check if you would.
Okay, vigilance. Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty vigilant. That is a 19 out of 7.
19 out of 7. Most
That
of the
tree
yard looks flammable. I mean, as far as where you can.
That tree looks like a good one to burn, doesn't it, Nrobso? Do you think so?
Nrobso cannot confirm nor deny this plan anymore.
I'll just maybe find another way to lure him out. Perhaps, yes, Nrobso, I'll lure him out. I'll try to lure him out as much as possible. That will be step 1.
Then I will
Hopefully.
await for the signal.
The signal. As soon as I start to lead him away, just try to enter the home.
And as I walk away, and I'm going to the side of the house that's not connected to the other place. One of my traits is short-lived, and that trait says quick to learn, adapts to new surroundings. So within this new surrounding, Nate, do I see anything that looks easy enough to either open to get in, or maybe there's like already a hole small enough for a goblin, a 4'9", 4'2" goblin?
Go ahead. Give me a vigilant check with this. I will give you, because of that trait, and being able to kind of take in your surroundings so quickly, I'll give you a +2 to your base.
No.
Still not enough?
Not enough.
Okay. As you're kind of looking around the side of the building, looking for any type of entry point, the windows on the second floor, looks like you might be able to push one up to get into, but you can't fully tell from where you're at.
Whoa. Wait a second. There's no windows on the first floor?
There are a couple on the first floor as well. Okay. But these ones look to be a bit more, they don't have any obvious ways of like sliding them or pulling them open. They almost look like there's one solid piece.
Then I go back to Leggies.
Leggies, there is a change of plans.
Yes?
Let us go the chaotic route, and you burn this tree down. But allow Nrobso to climb up first, and on the count of 3, you burn, and I jump to crash through the window.
Very well. I can't see any way that this plan would go badly. It seems, I was looking earlier, and it did seem like the best thing to burn.
Leggies,
I really looked into it.
before I go, I have one question.
And like he turns around in such a badass way, like turns around and does like a shoulder look over, and he's
Is this how Nrobso dies?
and he goes off to the tree and he climbs.
Okay.
And he's planted and ready.
Nrobso, give me a a quick check to see how well you can get up this tree here.
Damn quick. That's why.
Damn quick.
18,
All right.
18 for 15.
All right. Excellent. Easy enough. Keen, you see Nrobso go in through the fencing, over the side of the house, and up the tree.
Very well. Blessed be, birthday boy. And I go down to like the trunk of the tree and I will spark a bit of a fire.
Okay. Just confirm for me you are lighting this tree on fire.
Yeah, little one. Start small.
Okay. You go over, and what does it look like as you're casting this fire down here for us?
Well, I mean, it sure is a fire, but so I feel like Keen tries to like siphon to try and make the spell a little bit less powerful than it actually is.
Okay, go ahead, and I'll let you give me a resolute check on this one to see how well you can complete the spell.
Okay, I did get a nat 1. My resolute is 15.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so you go down and you just slowly begin letting these sparks fly out of your fingertips, and ever so gently they land down onto the grass and the roots, and just very slowly begin to build into a smaller flame at the bottom. Nrobso, so you look down, you can smell the smoke starting to build, and you see Syrinx essentially standing below you, sparking this fire at the base of this tree. You've got the window, which it looks like you could probably follow one of the branches to get close enough to the window if you want to try to enter in.
I'm gonna wait until the panic forces Cargo Guile to come out.
Okay. Give me a vigilance check if you would while you're up here, Nrobso.
Yeah, 2 for 12.
2 for 12. Okay. So you're kind of standing up here, kind of listening, waiting for any type of movement or noise. And as you're kind of waiting around, you kind of glance back through the window. You can see that the area you're looking into appears to be like a room that's been turned into a closet. And you see all these nicer clothing hanging out, these large dressers. And you see an individual standing in there who appears to be looking in a mirror at himself, kind of adjusting his coats and everything. You see him kind of like look around for a moment. And he kind of turns and faces the window. Give me a discreet check if you would, Nrobso.
Well, with this discreet check, I'm going to use my shadow spawn because I'm hopefully hiding. I'm not hiding.
Okay.
17 for 7.
17 for 7. Oof. Okay. This individual comes walking over. He grabs the window and he pushes it up. And you can see him kind of like smelling around, and he kind of like looks towards you. And then quickly glances down.
Help!
But
Help!
Syrinx, is that you?
If only there was a great war hero. Help!
Get out of my
Cargoy!
fucking tree. What
Cargoy,
happened?
help! Cargoy, your tree is on fire and this creature, this thing, climbed up out of fright. I don't know why he climbed up. Why would you climb up a burning tree? I'm trying to put it out.
Me. Help the help maneuver, help!
Cargoy, we need to put the fire out. We
Oh.
have this lost, confused creature up in the tree. Can you get him inside and come down here and help me get this out? And I'm like
Is this
trying
how
to like.
Nrobso dies? I won't move from this tree unless all hands are on deck.
And he just kind of looks towards you and just, fuck's sake, he slams his window shut, and you see him walk out of the room.
And just for the record, when he was looking down, I was like using a cloth to pretend like I was smothering it, because from the distance he was looking, it would have looked like I was trying to smother it, but but I wasn't actually smothering it.
All right.
Now I'm still waiting until I know he's left the house.
Okay.
So like
no worries.
as he's exiting,
Leggy, give me the signal when he's on the front door.
Oh, okay, the signal is just going to be this in the air.
You wait a few moments. Keen, you hear the front door fly open, and you hear the grunts of an individual as he comes rushing around the corner. And you see he's got this crossbow in his hand as he's kind of pointing it up towards the tree. Nrobso, give me a quick check here. See how quickly you can get over to this window.
wait, so he's no, the plan was as he's coming out, I'm going in.
Okay, perfect. Never mind. You're good. You're good. You're making your way over to the window. Go ahead. Instead, give me a strong check here to see if you can pry the window open from this side.
What is my strong? Ooh, 11 for 17.
11 for 17. Excellent. So even though he slammed this window down hard on this side, you are able to kind of get kind of the blade of your axe underneath the sill and kind of break the pressure on it and slide the window up. And easy enough, you pop into the room, and Keen, you see Kargoy coming around the corner, crossbow in hand, kind of pointing up towards the tree. Do you see where that fucking thing went?
It jumped. It jumped. I tried to get it, but I have an emergency right now. Do you have anything to smother this? And I'm like now physically trying to smother it.
Let me go ring the alarm bell. I'll get the guard down here to put this thing out. And he begins walking over towards what looks to be like this standing bell kind of situated in the corner of his yard.
Wait, Kargoy, it's
What?
spreading. I need help immediately.
Well, then we should get the guard here to put it out, right?
Can I try to smother it really fast?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Just give me another resolute check to see how much you can control this fire.
Okay, my resolute is high, thank God. It's 7 out of 15.
Okay. I'll say since you're the one that cast it, you're kind of able to kind of keep it controlled with one hand while using the other to kind of gesture around. And Kargoy, he's just kind of over at the bell and just...
Okay, Kargoy, I have it under control. Do you have anyone that would want to cause this? It seems kind of strange that your tree just started to go up in flames.
Well, you're the only one here besides that. Did that goblin?
Yes, and I live on this street too, Kargoy. I was going out for a stroll over on the paths. I couldn't help but notice there was like a creature in the tree, and that obviously got my attention. I didn't really know what was going on. And then I saw fire starting at the bottom. You can imagine that was a point of concern. Are you okay? I haven't really seen you out with me and Roya lately. Are you doing okay?
Give me a persuasion roll if you would.
Okay. My persuasion, that is a 7 out of... What is my persuasion? 11.
You see him kind of grip his crossbow a little bit harder. You know I don't go out with you and Roya at all. Why is it that you now find it so surprising?
Well, I just feel as if maybe, I don't know, I think about the old days a lot, especially since things in town are, I don't know if you've been hearing about any of the news with the heretics, and now there was like that giant sinkhole. I get so worried, you know, especially from the last war. I just sometimes worry something is coming, and it would be nice if we could maybe go out together sometime and figure things out.
You really don't seem yourself today, Syrinx.
And you haven't seemed yourself in a very long time, Kargoy.
It's so unlike you to suddenly care so much.
Yes, but Kargoy, You've changed a lot over the years, too.
Give me another persuasion roll if you would.
Please. Oh my god. Okay, 10 out of 11.
A 10 out of 11. Okay.
Skin of my teeth.
You see him kind of lower his crossbow just slightly. I suppose we've all changed a bit since those days.
Yes.
Still, it's odd that you've had this change of heart so suddenly.
Well, I wouldn't exactly. It's been on my mind, like I said, because things are not very pleasant in the news. And obviously, I was not planning originally to come and talk to you, but then I couldn't help but notice that you could potentially be in danger. And I had to help.
And where's Roya? It's so odd to see you two separated.
Roy's away, but Roya will return. I know it's odd, but again, things are not as they should be or as they have been in the town. And as you can see, this plant life is dying. This plant life is dying, Carboy. What is... I don't know what's going on, but I do know that the best thing to do is to act.
Another persuasion roll if you would.
7 out of 11.
7 out of 11. Nice. Okay. And he kind of looks towards you. Yes, the plant life. Dying since those damn witches arrived. Perhaps they bring the corruption of the Davokar with them.
Oh, yes. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That is a very, very likely circumstance. Do you think that man that they wanted to burn in town, do you think he has anything to do with this? You've heard of the unrest, right? With, what was his name? Oh, he had a name. It was something. But I've heard that there's some unrest about some sort of heretic in town. Maybe it could have something to do with him, too.
You see him grip his crossbow a little bit stronger once again. You know his name, Syrinx.
Was it Sarvola or Sarvoma? I'm getting older. I can't say that I have as much of a memory for names anymore.
And Cargoy slowly begins stepping towards you. Back inside Nrobso, you enter into this window. You can hear kind of a bit of the conversation that's happening downstairs between Keen and Cargoy. But you enter in and you find yourself in this large dressing room. Basically looks like a small bedroom that's been converted to just hold nothing but clothing in this area. You see a couple dressers, a very nice standing mirror, lots of various robes and coats just hanging up very neatly all around this room. And you see a doorway to your right that appears to be currently open, and it looks like it exits out into a bedroom.
All she had to say was, "You want to tell me what's going on? You want to tell me what's..." No, she does this whole backstory. She gives, and I'm like scrambling, going through pockets, opening coats, opening dressers, drawers, checking the floorboards. Like this, I'm doing everything in this one room. All she had to say was, "You want to tell me what's going on?" And then she gives up and does some backstory. And it's very loose. She doesn't even know the relationship between the two. Like he's so pissed off.
Give me a vigilance check here as you're kind of searching and digging away and just having this upset inner monologue going on.
7 for 12.
7 for 12. All right, you're kind of digging through the floorboards, ripping up the dressers and digging through the coats. The only thing of value you're able to find in here is what appears to be a gold ring. And you also find about 4 ore tags hidden in one of the jacket pockets. Aside from that, none of the floorboards appear to be fake in any way. They're all normal flooring throughout this area.
Ring in pocket. I'm taking the ring. Wait, does it have any inscription on it? Does it say anything on it, inside, outside?
From what you can tell, it's just a basic gold ring.
It's actually, I bring out my necklace with the 2 rings on it.
Another one for the collection.
And I slide it on that finger that I have.
Sliding it onto that decaying finger.
Yeah.
And as you pull it out, that iron packed ring that you have is still very warm and letting off a slight hum to it. But you tack on the gold one, tuck it back away. You got the doorway exiting out into the bedroom before you.
Yep, same thing. I'm in that bedroom, under the bed, under the mattress. Not with a lot of care. It's just hastily scrambling because I don't know how much time I have or how long Leggies can keep this pretend conversation going. So I'm pressing down on the mattress, touching the pillows. I'm opening the covers. Everything. You want another vigilance check?
Give another vigilance check. Yes, please.
18 for 12. I didn't do great.
18 for 12. All right. Digging through, kind of pulling this place apart as much as you can. You're not finding much of interest in this bedroom, unfortunately. No type of hidden compartments, just a super nice comforter, some nice like feather-filled pillows. Nothing really of interest, unfortunately.
And then with care, I make the bed again.
Okay, putting everything back to how it was.
Leggies would be mad if I don't at least clean this up.
And then from here, you've got another doorway that is currently open, exiting out. It looks like it almost goes to like a little landing of some sort. And you see just on the other side of the landing, another doorway.
I'm gonna like hunker down and scutter across the I guess the landing just to get to that other doorway.
Okay, you go scuttling across.
And I got gloves on, by the way.
Okay.
I touch the doorknob and I slowly twist it to see if it's unlocked.
Oh yeah, it's open to right up for you. You go scuttling across. You see a staircase heading down to your left-hand side as you're crossing the landing. But you're able to easily enough pop this doorway open.
Slowly pop it open, sir. Excuse me.
Slowly, taking your time, gently peeking your way into this area. And as you open this doorway up, you're in a large rectangular room that is just, the walls are lined with what appear to be built-in bookshelves. And there are just hundreds of books filling all these shelves. You see some very nice leather chairs situated off in one corner with this large circular table. On the table itself appears to be a very nice crystal decanter filled with some kind of red liquid. And you see another doorway too, heading to what looks like a back room.
How big is the crystal?
The decanter itself looks like it could probably hold a full bottle of wine.
Will it fit in like a satchel discreetly?
I mean, you could probably fit it into like a basic sized messenger bag, yeah.
This one's for Kovaan,
and I pocket it. I put it in the satchel.
All right, shoving it into your satchel. Okay.
But there's nothing like no drawer, nothing that I can look under. Just a whole bunch of books.
And then a couple of nice leather chairs, but the chairs themselves have taller legs on them, so you can easily see underneath. And from what you can tell, there's nothing of interest below them.
I keep going to that other door.
Okay, making your way to the next doorway, popping it open slowly, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just like I gotta peek first. Yeah, you want to peek before you bust open.
All right, entering into this room. This one here, a little bit larger than the library that you were just in, but that same rectangular shape. This one, you can see that just hung up along the walls of this area. You see spears, you see shields, you see swords, all of them very much rusted. A couple of them have what appear to be just blood stains permanently covering them. There's like a table in the center that has all these old beat up leather bound journals. A couple of them are currently laid open with just handwritten scribbles all throughout them. Situated on one of the walls, you see what almost looks like a glass display case that has one of those veteran coats within it, a couple medals pinned to it, and a little placard that just says "The Great War." This appears to be almost like a trophy / heirloom type room.
Journal first. Quickly skimming the most recent input.
Okay. The most recent input was from quite a few years ago. And it's basically just a quick scribble of we won, the Queen is safe, heading across the Titans to establish a new kingdom, a new Ambria.
I'm taking it.
You're taking that journal? Okay.
Yeah.
You grab that journal.
And this glass case. Can you describe what's in it again?
Yeah, you see what appears to be a one of the war coats, very similar to one that you had found in the 3-story building before. Mm-hmm. And you also see a couple of what look like war medals hanging up in here.
Oh, no. None of this stuff is actually useful. Who keeps trinkets to celebrate winning a war? Nrobso has no need of such things.
And if there's nothing of full interest that doesn't pique, this can be useful to me. Mm-hmm. And there's no other door leading anywhere else. I have to back out the way that I came?
Correct, yep.
Yeah. I'm backing out, getting back to the landing, and I want to listen in on the conversation just to see if, just for time's sake, am I listening to the end part of that last conversation, or are they still in the middle of this conversation that they're having outside?
So at this point, after kind of making your way through the entire study and area, you go back, and it's at that point where you do hear Kargoy say, "You know his name."
Oh, fuck. Then, from this landing, looking downstairs, mm-hmm. Can I see how many rooms? Like how much time I still need?
Looking down, all you can see is the staircase ends at what appears to be a very large open space. And as you're kind of looking down, you can see what looks like a bit of sunlight peering through along the ground. So you're assuming that whatever room that is whatever room the front door leads into, essentially.
So, assuming that before I went in, Nrobso is imagining that his back is towards the house, I'm gonna get downstairs and try to get to the front door to signal to Leggies,
keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay, you make your way down toward the bottom of this landing, and as you hit the bottom of the stairs, you have a door immediately to your left, a door in front of you, and you basically exit out into this large open room that appears to be like a gathering room. There's a bar situated along the right-hand side as you hit the bottom of the staircase. You see various glasses hanging from the top of it. Behind it, just shelves filled with different alcohols and elixirs. And situated right next to the bottom of the staircase is another doorway. So this room, you've got 3 doorways heading to different chambers in this home, as well as the front door exiting outside. But you kind of poke your head out doing your hand signals. Give me a discreet check, if you would.
All right.
And Keen, give me a vigilance check, if you would.
Is this?
Well, well, well.
Hold on.
That
I want
is
to know what my plus
a-
one.
That is an 18 out of 7.
Okay.
And that is a 2 out of 7.
Okay, excellent. So Nrobso, you kind of poke your head out trying to do your signals, but you're also trying to take enough care to make sure Kargoy doesn't look over and see your little goblin hands flying out the door. You're so discreet about it that even Keen doesn't notice what you're doing, unfortunately.
Ugh.
And then I'm back in. You said that there's one door to my left, one door to in front of me, and then the one that went outside.
So there's 3 doorways in this home. So as you kind of turn around from the front door, so you're kind of facing the back of the house now, you see the staircase heading up. There's a doorway situated right next to the staircase. And then there's another door situated immediately to your right. And then there was one more doorway across from the staircase.
The one right by the staircase.
The one right in front of the staircase, right in front of you. Okay. Heading over to that doorway. Back outside, Keen. Kargoy begins to approach you, getting right up in your face a little bit. I just find it so odd, Syrinx, that you've suddenly got this caring spirit about you. And you've also seemed to have forgotten the name of the man we've been keeping an eye on for months now. What's really going on with you?
Fine then. You've apparently forced my hand. And I'm gonna try and be like as domineering like as I possibly now I'm gonna get a little bit more aggressive. Kargoy, I have no idea what you're doing or what secrets you're keeping. But there are people in town who are starting to whisper. And I knew that you wouldn't freely let me into your business. But I can't protect you and protect any of us really if I have no idea what you're doing.
Give him persuasion roll if you would, Keen.
No, that was not one. And my persuasion's
Nat
really
one.
high. Yeah.
And just who are you to question me, Syrinx? I led us to victory in that fucking war. You'd be smart to shut your damn mouth and do as you're told.
Well, maybe that's true, Kargoy. But do you think that that means a whole lot of anything to some of these younger people coming in? You heard we can't even keep witches out of our city.
Tell you what, Syrinx. You take care of the witches. And maybe I start opening up a bit to you.
Do you think I take orders from you in this situation, Kargoy?
If you want to know my business, that's the deal.
That's the thing, though, is I think the only one who'd be protected by me knowing your business is you.
Back inside Nrobso. Open up that doorway. You enter in to what appears to be a very large kitchen area. Just basic counters wrapping all the way around. You see what appears to be like a like this stone fridge, for lack of a better word, essentially situated. You can feel a bit of coolness coming off of that area. You see a large wood burning stove situated off in one of the corners. All the cabinets currently shut. No food stuff left out anywhere. And you see a doorway situated at the end on the right hand side.
Leggy said, "What room would someone not want others in?" And it's not this room.
And I skip every interesting thing that's peering towards my goblin eyes, and I go to that door.
Make your way over to that doorway, okay? Do you open it?
very cautiously, when the GM looks and smirks, do you open it?
Just asking if you open it. So you open that doorway up. In this chamber, significantly smaller, what you see is a large wooden table with 10 chairs situated around it. Appears to just be a basic dining room.
And there's no other door.
There's a doorway situated towards the back of this room.
Why does this guy have so many doors, and how did this house all of a sudden become so large?
And I go past the dining room to that door. Also, I'm closing doors behind me as well. Like, yeah, they're not just open, they're all being closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Open up this doorway here. Another small chamber, very similar to the one upstairs, wall-to-wall bookshelves, just filled with various books.
This guy had better have a secret chamber behind one of these books.
I don't touch the books. I'm just so frustrated with why do you have two libraries in your house? But I do want to give a decent sweep with my eyes to see if any particular thing stands out for a hidden book lever.
Sure. Give me a vigilance check if you would.
It's a 19 for 12.
All right. Kind of looking through these books, scanning them very, very quickly. None of them seem to be jumping out at you in any way, shape, or form. However, you can hear the ongoing conversations, as this room does have two windows on the left-hand side. These windows appear to be very tinted, though, but you can see the silhouette of two individuals staying out by that tree, and you can hear the voice of Keen talking to Kargoy on the outside.
And these are, besides being tinted, they're regular windows?
Correct.
Great. So I'm going to head back to the stairs, but this time, now that I know that they're still out there, I'm going to leave all the doors open, assuming this is a straight shot, doorway to doorway type deal.
Okay.
Yep. They're all open, and I'm back at the stairs going to...
You got the doorway across from the stairs at the bottom that you have not gone through yet.
That's the one.
Okay. You go over and you grab that handle, and as you go to turn it, it's locked.
I turn it and what?
It is locked.
Oh,
You cannot open this door.
Says you.
And I take out my dagger, and then I try to I put my dagger back.
How does Nrobso open this door without causing some type of ruckus? Obviously, he would have the key on him.
Do I have anything to pick a lock with?
To my knowledge, you have not picked up any type of lock picking tools.
Nope, no time to figure it out.
I take the dagger back out and I jam it right at the knob hinge situation.
Okay.
But before I do anything else, I'm thinking in my brain. So I try to wiggle the knob and the knob doesn't move?
Correct. There's just a little bit of give, but you can't turn it all the way. It's like a doorknob with a lock built into it.
But okay, so when you say lock, because I got to get to the specifics. You mean the kind that it goes into the wall? Is that what you mean? Like a bolt goes into the wall, or the knob itself is locked?
The knob itself is locked on it, but there is a keyhole. But you could potentially slide something between the knob and the door to try to jimmy it open if you want to.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
So Nrobso, you take your dagger out and you begin trying to jimmy this lock open. Keen standing face to face with Kargoy. And when we come back from our break, we will see what y'all are able to accomplish. So thank you all so much for sticking with us. And we will see you all back here in just a few moments. Stick around. And welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. So, where we left off, Nrobso, you are about to pop open this doorway that is currently locked. Keen outside in the form of Syrinx face to face with Kargoy. Nrobso, go ahead and give me a strong check to start, if you would, to see how well you could break this lock open.
We got a 13 for 17.
13 for 17. Excellent. Easy enough. Taking your dagger, shoving it in there, and getting that lock to pop out. Go ahead and give me a discreet check now to see how quietly you are able to do this.
Like he tries to cough to cover it, the noise for whatever goblin reason, and I have a 13 over 7.
13 over 7. Excellent, excellent. You just hear the sound of your metal dagger hitting that metal latch, and when it pops, it just sounds like this loud scraping as well. It just kind of echoes through this room that you're currently in. Keen, give me a vigilance check, if you would.
Okay. Oh, 4 out of, let me see what my vigilance is. 7. 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7, okay. As Kargoy is approaching, you hear the sound of what seems to be metal scraping on metal, followed by like the super loud clicking noise coming from within the home.
So I'm going to raise my... I'm sorry?
Oh, no, go for it.
I'm going to like raise my voice and talk kind of loud, and like I'm going to do like an emphatic gesture. Do you think, seriously, that I am trying to actively oppose you right now?
And Kargoy just... Did you hear that?
Hear what?
You're sure that goblin ran away?
With my own eyes, yes. Unless you think, what do you think?
And Kargoy kind of grips his crossbow a bit stronger and turns his back to you.
I'm going to cast Bendwell. I'm going to cast Bendwell as his back is turning to me.
Okay.
Resolute versus a Resolute. Let's go.
All right, let's do it to it. Go ahead, give me that Resolute check.
Oh my god, I just like hurled my die into space. Oh no, it's just with my cloak. We're fine. Okay. And how does the Resolute versus, because like, do I do a Resolute versus my own Resolute? Is that how, do I still tell you what my number is?
Yeah, give me your number.
Okay. So I rolled a 8 out of 15.
8 out of 15, okay, even with his modifier thrown in there, you are good. What does it look like as you're casting this for us?
So a breeze seems to pick up, but it isn't really a breeze. And he feels like the force of it, and like his eyes kind of glaze over for a moment with like a white with like little black like blood vessel streaks, and then it just fades, and I have bent his will.
Excellent, okay. And Kargoy kind of stops in his tracks for a moment. He just kind of looks back towards you, Keen.
Kargoy, yes, let's go investigate the noise, but I'm gonna like gesture him to like, I'm assuming I would think that there's rope somewhere in a kitchen, right?
Maybe.
Well, is that in Symbaroum normally where people keep any kind of thing like rope or twine?
You might have a junk drawer in there with some rope. You don't know.
Interesting, because I think Keen is trying to think ahead, knowing that like I have to maintain this. Very well. I'm gonna like kind of poke my head in. Where is Nrobso? Do I see Nrobso?
You poke your head in, and you see all the doorways are currently open throughout the house. You do not see Nrobso anywhere, though. Nrobso, I will say that as you pop this doorway open, you do see a staircase heading down. and you heard that loud noise kind of echo throughout the home. So before Kian and Kargoy walk in, what would you like to do?
I would like to correct and say only the doors leading to the kitchen and the dining room and the third library is open. All the other doors are closed.
When I look down into the downstairs dungeon, is it lit? Is it pretty well lit? I can see where this lands.
There's very faint light coming from the bottom from what appears to be like torches. Just giving off this faint glow across the stone floor at the bottom of the staircase.
And they're entering as I'm like...
The door's opened up. You've got it open.
Uh-huh.
And you can hear footsteps head in your direction.
Uh-oh. And I very daintily start heading down the stairs and I close the door behind me.
Okay. Closing the door behind you. So, Keen, you enter in and you see the doorway open to the kitchen. And you kind of look about. You do not see Nrobso anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna go into the kitchen and see if there's any kind of twine or rope or something somewhere in the kitchen. As I'm leading Kargoy in, but I'm making him cast his head down.
Okay. So Kargoy enters in, still holding his crossbow, but head down.
He's gonna put that down.
Okay.
He's gonna put that down as he enters the home.
He enters into the front door, sets his crossbow, just kind of leans it up against where the doorway is at, and just continues to follow you.
Hand me some rope, Kargoy.
And Kargoy kind of goes over to one of the cabinets that's situated next to like this large wash basin in the kitchen. He kind of pulls it open and reaches in and hands you about a 6-foot length of rope.
Now put your hands behind your back and hold them.
And just this glazed over, expressionless face, very slowly his hands go behind his back.
I'm going to like very, very carefully try and like, I'm gonna like not even double knot this thing. I'm gonna like knot this thing like 6 times. Like I'm really like trying to do it up.
Okay. Easy enough. He just sits there. This
and I'm gonna do it to his ankles too.
Okay. Tying his feet to his ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a quick check just to see how well you can tie this rope up.
Okay, that is a... Where's my quick? Ooh, that's an 8 out of 9?
8 out of 9, okay. Still a success. You go through tying him up, and you feel like you got him tied up pretty damn tightly.
Okay. I'm going to... What is the best way that I know to knock someone out without really seriously injuring them? Do I know how to do that? Is that even like...
I mean, you've seen people get hit on the head and they pass out. I mean, you can certainly try.
I don't know if I want to hit him on the head. Is there wine or mead here?
If you want to start digging through the cabinets, you certainly can. That front entryway that you walked in, you saw the bar with all the various alcohols behind it.
Okay, so I think like I'm going to, so I still have a hold over him, and the whole time I'm doing this, I'm like doing some incantations about like dreaming, like I'm kind of like saying things like, and in dreamland, and like almost trying to implant an idea whether or not it's going to work that he's like actually having like a long dream. And I'm like mixing up like some alcohol, and I'm going to like kind of, you know, like set the alcohol, like an alcoholic drink out, but make it look like it's almost completely drank. And like I might even leave a sloppy mess like right beside it, just so that when he wakes up, I'm going to like tying him for right now is just a necessity in case this goes south. But I do intend to remove his restraints before we leave, and I'm trying to make him think that he's just dreaming this experience with Syrinx.
Okay, so you're essentially trying to make it look like a night of heavy drinking and bad dreams. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No worries. So you lead him in, tie him up, make him this concoction, and kind of lay out the scene for him to wake up to once he passes out, if he passes out. Nrobso, you are currently on the staircase. The door shut behind you. You do hear two sets of footsteps that walk right by, and they seem to get a bit quieter. And then you hear one set of footsteps that seems to get a bit louder as Keen's entering back into this bar area. You do hear Keen's voice kind of muttering these incantations under her breath. The actions are yours. You can continue down the staircase if you want to, or you've got the door behind you and you can see what's going on. What would you like to do?
Must not fail the mission.
And he goes down. He goes in.
Heading down the staircase. Okay. You walk down. The stairs go down probably about 20 or so feet. And you see two large stone archways on either side of you in this hallway. The hallway itself, only about 5 feet wide. And these doorways, the one on the right-hand side, you look in, and from what you can tell, just from seeing the hallways, you see these wooden shelves, and there's what appear to be like mason jars and cans filled with food. You see a couple like sacks of potatoes kind of thrown on the ground in here. A couple loaves of like stale bread that are situated on these shelves in this area. Over on the left-hand side, another large open stone archway. This area just appears to have a few different trunks that are currently closed, just kind of stacked up in this room. And the hallway continues forward. And you can see that looking forward, there's another archway towards the end that looks like it opens up to a larger chamber.
All right, we have a left, we have a right. We have hopefully the last chamber in this godforsaken building that has too many rooms.
He goes all the way down, and he peeks his little head in, looking around.
What do I see in the large chamber?
To the large chamber. Give me a vigilance check, if you would.
13 for 12.
13 for 12. Okay. No worries. You're kind of walking forward, and the air around you feels pretty heavy. This area feels very, very humid and warm down here. To the point where as you're walking forward, you're just progressively getting more and more uncomfortable. But you enter and you poke your head through the archway into this chamber. Looking about, you see, kind of situated off to the left and right hand side of you, a couple of leather chairs, just situated kind of in either corner. And looking forward, you see this wall of just iron bars, taking up the entire, separating this chamber into two parts, essentially. You see gates along this iron rod wall, and you can see, as you're kind of peering through, two cells separated by a wall behind these iron rods. And you can see what looks to be an older Ambrian woman on the chamber to your left, and on the cell to the right, you see a younger Ambrian girl. And that's what you can kind of see just from the archway itself. Let me know if you would like to go into the chamber at all. Keen, back upstairs. You've got the scene laid out in front of you. kind of situated. Kargoy just kind of with this blank expression on his face, just tied up, waiting to see what you want him to do.
Is there, and you can say no, that's totally fine. Is there any way with Bend Will, just based on the situation we're in, that I could just kind of, I know it's not a sleep spell, but could I make him slowly lose consciousness while I'm doing this?
I
It's okay,
mean,
it's no.
with Ben Will, you can essentially make him perform one action. I mean, if you want to tell him to go to sleep, you certainly could.
I think I will tell him to go into a deep sleep.
Okay. And Kargoy just kind of lays down on the ground and closes his eyes. Whether or not he's going into a full-on deep sleep, you're not certain.
You said he's on the chair?
Did you tie him to a chair, or did you? My understanding was you just let him in the kitchen, just tied him up.
Well, I tied him up, but I'm gonna make it so that he's laying on the ground, like near where the alcohol scene is that I've created.
Okay. Perfect. And you tell him to go into a deep sleep, and he lays there and he closes his eyes, and he's just kind of laying there motionless. Whether or not he's like in a true deep sleep, or if he's just like trying to make himself fall asleep, you can't quite tell. But he is tied up, laying there with his eyes shut currently.
Okay. I'm still gonna kind of guard him. And I'm also like, I'm gonna just kind of try to guard him just in case he does wake up or something. But I am going to like kind of turn my head around the corner, and I don't know if Nrobso can hear me or not. So I'm going to sort of write a little message on paper that I probably have some in my bag. I'm just gonna write, I have Kargoy upstairs, hopefully asleep. Just let me know what you find. And I'm going to send the little paper and pen with Muffin, and Muffin is going to go downstairs.
Okay. Muffin heading down the staircase, down the hallway. Nrobso, as you're kind of poking your head into this chamber, you see this little ethereal fox kind of come trotting up over to you. With this pen and paper in its mouth.
Muffin, it's been a while since I've actually engaged with you. I thought you was some form of dog or a corgi, perhaps. What is that you got? What's in your mouth?
And these two giant glowing eyes just slowly blink up at you, like not really understanding the whole play concept.
I take the note. And then I write back.
Dungeon. 2 potential prisoners down here. Older woman / younger woman.
I fold it up.
Return, Muffin.
And I allow Muffin to go back.
Muffin turns around, heads back down the hallway, up the stairs. Up to you, Keen. Nrobso, would you like to enter into the chamber, or are you going to do anything else?
No, I enter. First thing I'm gonna look for are potential prison keys. You know, they usually just hang those up on the walls in every typical situation where there's a dungeon and it's just on the wall. So sure. I'm trying to see if there's keys on the wall.
Give me a vigilance check here.
4 for 12.
4 for 12, okay. Looking up, these walls are completely blank. There are no type of keys hanging up. But as you enter in, though, you are hit with the stench of death and decay. And you as you're kind of looking at the wall, you hear the rattling of chains. And you see these 2 women, each of them kind of walking up towards their cells as close as they can get. And you can see that they each have these large chains attached to their ankles. And they kind of just come over and they're just staring at you. And as you kind of look back towards them, you can see that their flesh is completely rotted and gray. Their eyes are almost like this eerie glowing yellow. They're both dressed up in very, very fine, beautiful clothing. The older woman appears to have a very nice diamond ring on her left ring finger. And they're both just kind of standing there staring at you with these blank expressions. And it's a situation where you can see that they're existing, but there's no life to either of these two.
I know
you would
you
be
are.
familiar
I am very familiar.
that these two are undead individuals who have succumbed to corruption.
Oh no. You are undead. You are alive and yet not knowing you are alive. The last undead I encountered actually had a conscience and could speak. But I feel it is far too late for either of you to be able to speak. Am I correct?
And they just kind of stare towards you. You can see the younger girl, she kind of reaches down onto the ground and pulls up what almost looks like a half-eaten carcass of some kind. And she just kind of like holds it out towards you.
No thanks. I've had my birthday bread this morning. I don't need more.
And she just kind of turns her hand and just kind of this gooey mess just kind of slides out of her hand, splattering down onto the floor.
And I want to carefully observe the older woman to see if I can read whether she is antagonistic or not.
Okay, give me a cunning check if you would.
Oh, yes, I will. Oh, it's a nice 16 for 7.
16 for 7. Looking at her, it's hard to get any type of emotional reaction type read off of her. She's acting very similar in the manner of the younger Ambrian that's in this area. Just kind of staring at you, aware that you are there, but not really aware of what you are.
This is certainly a predicament that is probably outside of Nrobso's expertise. Perhaps Leggies will have a better understanding. If only there was some type of way to capture this scene. Maybe some type of device that I could record this that I am watching. Or maybe an artist's redraw or some type of pamphlet or paper that I could show proof. Alas, we don't have that technology just yet. Maybe I shall return, poor undead girl and unfazed older Ambrian woman.
And I get out of there, man. I go back upstairs.
Okay, making your way back upstairs. As you kind of hit the top of the stairs and open the doorway, you can see Kian kind of dragging the body of Kargoy over into this room and setting him up around these kind of spilt out alcohol bottles. Keen, you see Nrobso pop out.
And I do this really quickly. And I walk up to Nrobso and I whisper, I haven't quite knocked him out. If you want to, you have to make it look like he fell on the side of his head that's against the floor. I wouldn't speak openly about whatever you saw until we have decided to officially knock him out. He can still maybe hear.
What happens if he receives physical damage?
The most gentle of knocking out. The most gentle. Like, does he seem like he ever fell asleep or he's just trying to fall asleep? I'm going to check his breathing because when somebody is sleeping, their breathing actually does slow down.
Yeah, as you kind of go over there, it seems like he's breathing like normal. And as you kind of walk over and kind of kneel down, check out he kind of opens up one of his eyes and looks at you.
Okay, I'm going to just try and knock him out.
Okay, give me an attack roll with whatever it is you are using.
Okay.
So it's going to be an accurate
That-
attack.
That is a sick.
Leggies, I see you winding up your fist. I'm only curious to, would you allow me to do the knocking about?
Will you be gentle?
I cannot confirm nor deny, but I feel like I'm a little bit more stronger than you.
That is likely the case, but that doesn't seem to make me believe you won't do more damage than just knocking him out.
Then I will sit back and I will watch your feeble attempts.
And I leaned on the wall, arms crossed, like upset at the opportunity.
All right, Keen, give me your damage on that roll.
So I'm just using my fist. I
Okay.
don't know what that means. Like, I don't really have a weapon.
That's fair. We'll just call it 1 point of damage as you go and just wind up and just clock him in the side of the head as his eyes kind of looking up towards you. You see him kind of squint his eyes really hard for a moment, just... Syrinx, what the fuck are you doing? What? Why am I tied up? And he kind of looks and he sees Nrobso and...
Nrobso,
You told me that! And he's
Do
trying to break himself free
Do it. Do it.
of these ropes.
Ah,
see
finally, my time.
And Nrobso, after we were just watching,
Finally.
and he jumps, brings his fists up, and he's careening down straight on this guy's like temple, like right here. But I'm doing
The moment has finally come.
I'm doing a double strike, which allows me to basically strike 2 times, but with my hands.
Okay.
The first one is straight across as I'm going down at his temple. And should this one not be enough, it's followed up by a left straight right in the middle of his forehead.
Okay, give me a couple accurate rolls here.
Yeah. That is a 6 for 14.
Okay. That'll work. Give me that damage.
Unarmed. All right, we got a 4 on the first one. And
Okay.
a 4 on the second one. 8 total.
8 total, okay. You jump up and just try to begin punching into his temple and then into his forehead. His head kind of reels back, and his head just kind of snaps forward once again. His eyes are still open, and you see him just begin rolling and shouting for Roya, and just shouting as loud as he can.
I'm gonna gag him.
Okay. So he's tied up, rolling, just shouting. You grab, I'm assuming, just a rag of
Did
some
you
kind.
find anything, Nrobso? Did you find anything?
There are 2 undead prisoners in his basement.
While I'm also scrambling to find that damn whistle so I can pop the whistle off of, which I'm assuming is around his neck.
Oh.
Oh yeah, easy enough. You're able to find his whistle, and he's just kind of reeling and trying to scream. And as you say those 2 undead, you see his eyes widen as he's just like shaking his head and trying to almost push his way towards that door.
I would suggest you stop unless you want the entire town to know about the 2 undead in the basement.
And as you say that, he immediately stops struggling and just looks at you.
Nrobso, what did they look like?
Oh, one was an older woman, and the other was a pretty nice one. She was a young girl who actually offered me some form of food, but I denied it. It was quite refreshing to know that even the undead had manners.
I say that directed towards him.
Did you kidnap women?
Oh, his mouth is still...
Yes,
Nod
it is,
yes.
but I don't
Nod
think that he's
yes.
earned the privilege of
Or
speech
shake your
yet.
head no.
Were they your family?
And you see him kind of look away, and you can see almost a bit of tears welling up in his eyes as you say, "Are they your family?"
They were your family.
And he just nods.
Nrobso, do you have enough strength to haul him into that area where we won't be observed?
What area are you referring to?
Wherever you were, I haven't been there yet, but if we ungag him, we need to make sure that we're somewhere secret.
Well, there's the basement dungeon, and then there's the upstairs library, which, by the way, sir, who has 2 libraries?
Towards the dungeons, then, because if he screams and somebody comes looking for him, they'll find whatever's there.
Then allow me to carry this guy.
Because this 4'2" goblin has the strength of 3 men. Let's do it, baby. What do you need, Nate? I'm ready.
Give me a strong check here.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 16 over or under 60 for 17.
16 for 17. You can't quite like fully lift him up, but you can kind of get the ropes and kind of use him almost like a backpack and walk him down.
But his legs are hitting every single.
Oh yeah, they're just trying. His ankles are going to be hurting by the time they get to the bottom of this.
You see, had you cooperated, your Achilles heel wouldn't be feeling this in the morning.
Are we in a safe place now?
You're able to make your way down to the chambers.
All right. Now listen, before I do this, should you scream or make any sort of ruckus down here, it will only reveal the fact that you are harboring undead, which, by the way, is a great act against the god Prios in a Prios town. So I'd be very careful about that. Do you understand? Shake your head yes if you understand.
And again, he just gives you a slight nod.
Wait, but it was a yes? Okay, so I'm gonna ungag him.
What do you want?
Well, I do want to say I am sorry for whatever's happened to your family. And before we even go into what we want, what happened to your family?
When I got back from the war, something came with me. A dark energy, a corruptive power that attached itself to me from the undead. And I did my best to keep it at bay, but at times it just became too overwhelming. Eventually, he kind of looks towards the older woman. It began to affect my wife. And at first we didn't entirely notice it, but as time went on, the symptoms became more obvious. And at some point, while she was preparing our meal, some of the corruptive energies from her found its way into our water source, and my daughter ended up drinking some night-tainted water. And to watch her have to suffer night after night for several days, it was unbearable. the corruptive energy, though it's taken their minds, it's kept their bodies alive in a way. And I'm just, I can't give them up. So I keep them down here. I change them, I bathe them, I brush their hair, I feed them. I come down and I read them stories. I enjoy their company. I know it's an act against Prios to keep them here, but I can't let them go. I won't.
Very well. Say we were willing to keep this situation secret, but it would cost, of course, your alliance with our cause. Right, Nrobso?
And I go to whisper to Leggy's ear and I go,
Is this cause our cause, or is this Sarax's cause? I don't know which to agree to.
I see. Well, I think it's no secret that I am not quite your war buddy, Sarax. And that doesn't really matter anymore. What matters is that we need something from you.
Just name your price.
We need you to use your influence to protect Sarvola and keep Sarvola from harm.
Why do you care for the heretic?
I suppose you could also ask, why do you care for the undead? That word heretic that you use. Isn't it so interesting? And I sort of like look over towards where the women are. That those words are so absolute. And they don't always reflect what we find to be the reality.
And he just kind of looks away from you and fine. Call off the attacks on Sarvola.
Then we will make sure that no one knows about this and you can continue as you desire.
Can you please remove these ropes from me?
I suppose so. Also, I heard from my friend that you have a lot of books. If there's any you don't want, I do love books, but if you want them, that's fine. And I'm like untying him. And sorry for all of this. Just so you know, I am sorry. This was not what I wanted to do, but you can realize you have been a little bit aggressive.
I try to get my axe at the ready just in case this guy changes his mind to attack us.
Sure. Keen, you begin unfastening the ropes. He just kind of looks towards you and look, just take whatever you want. Just don't say a word.
Then we are agreed, are we not, my goblin friend?
Well, since he seems to not to have the I'm gonna harm you idea right now.
And I take my hand off of the axe and I don't show him what's on my neck, but I kind of go in and I pull out that gold ring and
I did find this. This is not the trophy that I wish to take from a man who is plagued by death.
And I don't give it back to him, hand it to him. I just put it on the table. There's a table, right?
Yeah, there's a little table down here.
Yeah. I put it back on the table.
And just so you know, I have already found the things that I want.
I just like grab onto my satchel, but I don't tell him what's in it.
Fair enough.
You've done what?
Huh?
Okay.
No.
Well,
Like he said to take whatever you want. I have whatever I wanted.
I'm just not surprised that this was a priority, apparently. But again, I hope that you can see us in the way that we see you now and understand that oftentimes it's not such a great question of whether or not a decision was black or white. There are many shades of gray, and your secret will be safe with us. So long as, again, Sarvola is protected.
No harm will come to him on my behalf. Nor
Or
Roya's,
us.
nor Sarex's. We'll leave him be.
Thank you. I think we have a great understanding, and I really do wish you peace. And I hope that this situation, in some way, gives you some of it. Also, just as a note for you, Carboy, I understand that there are some beliefs that maybe have helped you a lot and have carried you through battle. I wouldn't be so quick to hate those who are very different than you, because I think you'll find that maybe someday they can help you more in this situation than anyone else can, for whatever that's worth.
I'll keep that in mind.
And
Very well.
lastly,
As I feel like we're really giving this guy the business now.
would you happen to know where Sarvola's at?
I can honestly tell you that I don't.
Well, that was a waste of a
The
gesture.
man's good at hiding. But I've known many people within this hold, and I can have them spread the message that he is safe to operate within the hold, and that may just encourage him to reemerge.
Thank you very much. And may I ask one question? What were their names?
And he kind of gestures towards his daughter, Mirella. And he gestures over towards his wife, Maya.
Well, they are very lovely, and again, thank you so much. We will take up no more of your time unless... Do you have anything to say at all? Nrobso, you're good?
Your daughter. I don't think she is the same as your wife. For your wife only stared at me blankless, with 1,000 miles and years in her eyes. However, your daughter offered me food, which means there may be hope for her to have a conscience. You should seek out the help from the Red Witch along the walls of Davokar.
You know of a witch who could help the undead.
Well, there is an undead there whom rose from the ground and slightly remembered their name and could even speak. And it was actually super useful in the battle we had. But nonetheless, if it could happen to one, then there may be hope for your daughter.
And he turns and just walks
And
away.
should it be of any comfort to you, I will also inquire to figure out what witches know about the lives of the undead. There is hope yet, Carboy. And before you ask what will it cost you, I don't think it'll cost you anything. I actually feel very sympathetic for you at this time.
Well, as I was is to say, I do appreciate you both. Perhaps it is time to start rethinking our ways. It's going to be a long road indeed.
Indeed. Well met to you, sir. We will be off, and I may borrow a few of your books if you do not mind.
Take what you wish.
And with that, I will proceed up the stairs after Nrobso.
All right, you and Nrobso take off. You see him kind of go over to the table where Nrobso would place the ring, and he picks it up, and as you're exiting, you can see him putting that on his left ring finger. Two of you head upstairs. He does not follow.
I am going to look at books, but any question, does he have any Earl Grey lavender tea in his pantries?
Give me a vigilance check if you
What
like.
kind of teas? What are my options? Oh, God, that's so bad. Oh, no. Like a 17 out of 7.
There are pouches of loose leaves. They look like they may be tea or they may be spices of some sort. You can't quite tell.
We'll take some. I won't take all of his stock, even of the ones that I sample from, but I'd like to sample from his many luxurious spices and teas.
Leggies, no, you're stealing from a man who is scorned. We should leave him with at least most of his teas.
Well, very well, but he is very wealthy, and these are very hard to find.
He is a scorned man. And
What did you steal
greedy.
from him anyway? What did you take?
No, well, if you must ask, I have this decanter with this red liquid. I'm not sure if it's magic, poison, or regular, but I'm going to keep it in there. That is for Kovaan. I also have this journal. I took his diary. Maybe there's more information in regards to the other champions of sorts. You can read that later. And I'm also keeping this hellhound whistle, for it is my assumption that the wielder of the hellhound whistle controls the hellhounds.
So you wish to leave the hellhounds here with him? So that he has no
They're-
security? And so that
merely
he might be attacked?
sleeping. Well, if he is a war hero, then he should be one of great prowess.
Can I please see what I know about hellhounds and whether or not Nrobso is correct about taking this whistle?
Yeah, give me a cunning check here.
Oh, never mind.
It says specifically, he who holds the whistle holds control.
Well, that was a 17 out of what?
Out of what?
It's not gonna pass.
Out of 1?
No, 17 out of something. I just don't know what it was. But no matter what,
Oh,
it's not gonna
cunning,
pass anything.
yeah.
Cunning. 17 out of 10.
Mm.
I know about that.
You don't really know enough about the hounds in the backyard and what that whistle can specifically do.
Not to worry, Legs. It's going to come in handy somehow.
Very well. Very well. And the only other thing that I'll do is I'll borrow like any books that have anything to do, since I now know that the town was really only created like within 8 to 7 years ago. I'm just gonna get any additional books about specifically that well, its creation from Toad Square, just anything, if I can find anything useful.
Okay.
And
give me another.
anything about Davokar as well. So like Davokar, anything about the ruins of Symbaroum, anything.
Okay, yeah, give me a vigilance check here as you're kind of digging through his books.
Finally. So that's a 3 out of 7. After all
3
this
out of
levels.
7. Excellent. You do find a couple different books. One of them is basically the just titled the known regions of Davokar. The other one is appears to be a brief history on Thistlehold itself. And as you're kind of looking at that one, it kind of starts off from when the Queen first landed here in this region. So this book would contain basically day one of Thistlehold.
Excellent. All right, Nrobso, are you ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Two of you, books in hand, decanter, stolen journal, various spices and teas taken.
And the hellhound whistle.
And the hellhound whistle. Exiting the home of Kargoy. Back out into the streets. Where would you two like to go from here?
Well, when it's safe, I will be transforming back.
Okay.
Nrobso, where would you like to go from here? I feel like I've done so much talking today. Surely there's anything you want to do.
Well, I say we return back to the Rose and drop off our spoils of war and reconnect there.
A lovely idea. Indeed. Maybe we can even have some hot water brought to our rooms.
Why specifically our rooms? We could just have it at the bar.
I mean, we can, but do you want to talk openly about our discovery with our peers? At the bar? Oh, we want to keep it a secret. Very well.
Now that you said that makes a lot more sense. I just figured the hot water would be warm water by the time it reaches us. It was all about the hot water for me.
Well, and I have these fascinating books, Nrobso. Surely we want to investigate. And you have a diary now?
No. The diary is for the group. That is not for me.
Oh, well, for the group
The
then.
hellhound whistle is for me. And I say, once we reconvene with the group, we take it to the sinkhole. And should things get crazy, I shall blow that triumphant hellhound whistle.
I can see no way in which that would go badly. I suppose it shall be so. Are you sure you want to, though, blow it? If we're not in danger?
Oh, do you not remember the beast of a woman that was in the sinkhole?
Oh, that is true, but we haven't been to the sinkhole in a while. I'm sure we'll find something.
There are abominations and the tall woman.
That is true. All right, so you can blow your hellhound whistle there, yes. Will you be touching anything there?
In the sinkhole?
Yes, in the sinkhole.
No, unless there are shiny rings there.
No.
I am only after shiny ring.
You will not be touching anything in the sinkhole.
Only after shiny ring.
You will not touch anything in the sinkhole, yes?
I agree to disagree.
No rings. Nothing shiny. Not in the sinkhole.
Tomato, tomato.
I think it's just no and no, actually.
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
So, is that some kind of goblin riddle? Could you repeat that to me slowly? I'd like to memorize that. What does it mean?
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
Mama say? Mama what?
Yeah. Mama sa.
Mama sa.
Mama kusa.
Amakusa.
Yes.
What is the meaning of that?
Sometimes mama says, sometimes mama saw, and sometimes mama yakuza.
Is it like, hear no, see no, speak no evil?
Exactly.
Interesting. Perhaps you can tell us all about it when we celebrate your birthday tonight in an uproarious celebration.
Oh, and perhaps Krenko and the rest of the Brotherhood can also partake.
Yes. Perhaps the inn will allow us to use their sort of parlor entryway. Have some guests over.
It sounds like a glorious idea. I will be sure not to blow the whistle in celebration.
That is for the best, yes. Would you like us to pick up any pastries? Maybe we can stop somewhere and see if we can get you something for tonight.
No, I am partial to scones and biscuits.
I wonder if the kitchen will allow us to try and make anything. I'm sure Aggie has ingredients from far away.
Then let us return back to the Rose Inn and reconvene. Thus,
Very well.
we have eliminated one option of venturing, and that only leaves 7 more.
All right. Easy enough to make your way back over towards the Rose Garden Inn, entering into that familiar parlor. The staircase heading up to your rooms is there. Would you like to do anything before going up to the rooms to kind of reconnect with everybody?
I know we just got here, but do you want to leave a note for the lady of the Sun Temple? The job is done before we reconvene.
Oh. Well, was the job only to protect, or was it to investigate even further?
Well, it was to protect, but we do have to let Lady Decipa know that we have done our job, right?
Nrobso doesn't feel that the job is absolutely completed because we don't have proof of life.
Well, that's okay. So that's true, but she did specifically tell us to speak with the war heroes. Maybe she'd like to know. You know, we can always go another time.
And then we all shall reap the reward.
Indeed.
And I also don't want her asking about the war horse that she gave me.
I'm sure it's forgotten. Perhaps you would like the horse to attend your birthday party?
The war horse is far too big to come inside. I will just stop by and offer it an apple, as similar to the greeting that I first did when we first met.
I'm sure that'll work. Just no slicing of any ears.
I cannot promise anything.
I think that is something you should promise, actually.
Mama say, mama saba makusa.
Yes, we see no, hear no. What's the other one? Speak no evil, right? Yes.
Which means if you don't see it, then you don't hear it. I guess it didn't happen.
All right. So, heading up to your rooms to kind of reconvene and reconnect with everybody. We'll go ahead and place the two of you back in your room where you can kind of drop off all of your items that you have collected in today's journey. And I'll say you can easily enough go ahead and knock on the doors of your companions if you wish to try to get their attention right now. And with that, we'll go ahead and call tonight's show. So when we come back, we will start you all off back together, reconnecting over some warm tea and scones, and you can begin planning your next actions from there. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Very much appreciate you stopping by on this Sunday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Before we go, though, I want to just give a shout out and thank you to our wonderful sponsors of the channel. Starting off with our friends over at Session Zero Clothing. They create some really cool, badass TTRPG inspired streetwear. If you use code ORDER at checkout, you get 15% off your purchase through them. Next up, we've got the wonderful folks over at Norse Foundry. They create some really cool handcrafted dice. They got gemstone dice, metal dice, and some other TTRPG accessories as well. If you use code TIO15, you get 15% off your purchase through them. And we've got our friends over at Mithril Armory, another fantastic group of crafters for all things TTRPG. They created the puzzle dice. They've got some sketch dice and all kinds of other accessories. If you use code INITIATIVE at checkout, you can get 10% off your purchase through them. And last but not least, we have our very own Valrook, who is the owner and creator of Umbral Oculus Dice. If you use code INITIATIVE, you get 10% off a full dice set through her store. So check that out. That is, she's at Valrook on all the socials, as well as Umbral Oculus Dice everywhere. Check it out. With that, thank you so much for watching. Let's go ahead and throw it back to my players. Let's go ahead and start off with Kelsey this time.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey. I am Tombs and Tomes on all social media. It's been great hanging out with you today. And if you like books and tabletop role-playing games, feel free to come over and be my friend or follow me or ask me to follow back. Anything's fine.
Awesome, awesome. And over to Royal, please.
Hello, y'all. It is Royalty No Why on all social medias. My name is Lee Royal. I had a great time today, finally getting back into Symbaroum. If you're interested in seeing some cool, like, I don't know, landscape type photos, I do a whole bunch on my Instagram via my stories, mainly because when working on set and working in different locations, I like to capture the smaller things that not a lot of people get to see. So if you're interested in seeing some awesome, beautiful sights, be sure to check that out. And I am trying to get back into streaming on Twitch right now because I only have my laptop. I am streaming Hades, which is a super fun but also very headache of a game. Rinse and repeat roguelike, but it's a lot of fun. And come watch me celebrate my victories and my losses.
Excellent, excellent. And my name's Nate. You can find me across all the socials at nride93, Instagram, Twitter. I also have my own Twitch channel where I am streaming some video games as well, mainly because I get bored at home and I've got nothing better to do. So if you want to hang out, come check it out. Nride over on Twitch. Currently playing through Elden Ring and Jedi Fallen Order, which I'm terrible at both of those games. So if you want to watch me scream and shout and get upset, place to do it. Aside from that, you can catch me streaming here on the Initiative Order, where obviously I am the GM here for Symbaroum. I do also want to mention that we've got some open calls going on right now in our Discord for some upcoming streams. One which I will be running for the Gaia Complex, super cool cyberpunk meets vampire type world set in the year 2119. So if you're interested in checking that out, please apply to be one of the players. I believe we're going to be closing that at the end of the week, so you still have plenty of time to check that out. Throw your name in the ring if you want to potentially stream with us. So aside from that, I think that's everything. I don't know, words, lots of words. My brain's slowly shutting off. So thank you all so much, everybody. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you all in the next adventure. Good night.